Quick story for you guys. I had something super cool happen today at work and I wanted to share it real quick. I thought it was awesome. So there's this kid that I train, a Muay Thai student in our kids class. He's in our 8 to 12 class. I want to say he's maybe 10 or 11. He acts a little bit on the younger side, but a super sweet kid. I've been coaching him for at least 3 years now. And today, about halfway through class, he comes up to me and kind of like whispers in my ear and he says, I have anxiety. And so I kind of partnered, took his partner, put him with somebody else and pulled him over and just, talked to him. I think that's something that's really important and missed a lot of times in coaching, is that ability to pull a student aside and just talk to them for a little while. You don't know what these kids are going through. And anyway, that's not the point of this video, but I think that's something really valuable. If a kid's going through something, they're having a rough day, pull them aside for 2-3 minutes. And so that's what I did with this kid. And he started to tell me like he's got this anxiety, he's been hospitalized and stuff. And, I started to just ask him some probing questions. God's been dealing with me recently about asking more questions, kind of being like a mirror to somebody to help them understand why they have something going on. And so I said, well, is there anything that specifically feels like it triggers this anxiety? So he started going through a couple different things and nothing that he could really point out. And I said, well, is there anything that helps you when you have this anxiety? And his response was so cool. He said, well, this really helps, like being able to talk to you about it. He's like, I don't really feel comfortable talking to any of the other coaches or anybody about it. He said, it also really helps when I read the Bible. And I said, man, that's amazing. And this is a kid, I know his family's Christian, but it's the truth. The Bible talks a lot about anxiety. And you guys know I've made plenty of different videos on anxiety before. But what you're doing when you pray and read the word of God a lot of times is you're getting out those things that are in you, those weights and those anxieties, and God is downloading his thoughts into your mind. And so that's what this kid was experiencing. So anyway, we had a really good talk. I put a picture of the kid right here. We took a picture after class, but we just spent some time talking. And this kid began to detail his relationship with God. He asked me what church I went to, and he was so sweet. He was telling me about how he experienced the presence of God. And I was just telling him how amazing it is that he prays on his own, he reads the Bible on his own, and he has a relationship with God, and he's experiencing God on his own through the word of God, an in-personal experience at the church that he goes to. And so it's amazing being able to talk to this student. And within 5 minutes of talking to him about some different things, prayer, the word of God, being able to have an outlet to talk to about these anxieties, he jumped up with a huge smile. He was super excited to jump back in there and spar with the team. And so I was just super encouraged as a Christian athlete, pulling this athlete aside, talking to him about what's going on, being a listening ear, and knowing that the answer to his anxieties was prayer, communication with other people who care about what you have going on, reading the word of God. Those are the 3 antidotes for anxiety. Love you guys. God bless.